Welcome back to another Chump to Champ update. This is my fourth video that I'm filming now. If you are just tuning in for the first time, I started without having ever played Street Fighter in my life, and my goal is to become a pro Street Fighter player, despite how difficult I'm finding that to be. On stream this week on Tuesday, I believe, I was focusing on doing postmortems, meaning that after every single match, whether I won or lost, I was looking at it and examining it and trying to figure out what went well, what went wrong, what I need to improve, and maybe occasionally I was trying to focus on what things I had control of and not just my opponents, because obviously you're going to get better and worse opponents. You're going to have people that you fight that are easier to fight and people that you fight that are going to just remind you how new to the game you are. But I was just focusing on what I can improve, and I think it helped me to identify a couple of bad habits that I had. I talked previously in my last video about how I have a really bad habit of just hitting my heavy punch into my heavy kick combo, and that would leave me vulnerable a lot, and I still am fighting that habit, but it was something I was able to identify a few times. Was also able to identify just some dumb times when I needed to just be taking the game slower. So I would say the postmortems were very useful, and it's a tactic that I intend to continue to use in the future. Not necessarily that I need to do that with every single match forever, where I'm like consciously writing down three things, but it's definitely a good way for me to identify what my path forward is and what I need to work on. As you may know, if you watch my stream on Saturday, I managed to make it to bronze, and not only did I make it out of Iron 5, which I had been stuck in for quite some time, I made it all the way to bronze 3. And after I got to bronze 3, I won some and I lost some there, and just kind of hovered around that area. I think the biggest difference, well, I would say there are two major differences. One is that on Saturday, I was making a conscious effort to play it slow and to punish my opponent when they did dumb things. And thankfully in bronze, there is a very, very, very high chance that if I just wait long enough, the person I'm fighting will do a dumb thing that I can punish. When you get to higher levels, I'm sure that changes at least a little bit, but I also think to some degree just being patient enough to let the other person make a mistake first is still helpful. The other key thing that I think honestly made a difference is that I was playing, before 11 p.m. Being able to play more or less early in the morning, not too long after I had started my day on Saturday, when I was actually like awake and like not trying to caffeinate to stay that way and to stay alert. Legitimately, it helps a lot so that I'm not getting frustrated as much, and it made it so I was able to really keep my focus and analyze the games I was playing at a level that I frankly can't a lot of times when I'm trying to practice, because it's late and I have a job and I have other things that I have to do. So it definitely was very gratifying, though, to finally make it to bronze after working pretty hard at learning what I was doing wrong in Iron 5. I'm still doing plenty wrong, but obviously I have made some changes, and I think that was clear on Saturday, or I'm working to make some changes that are improving my gameplay overall. I think, honestly, this might take a while to work on, but one of the most important things for me to be working on is my anti-airs. And those are the attacks where I'm, kicking up into the air, where I'm basically any of my responses to somebody jumping and trying to either jump over me or jump to attack me. Trying to make sure that I control the air, especially with Cammy, who is a character who has solid anti-airs, has good defense against that. I think it is such a core fundamental and something that so many players abuse, jumping into the air, that if I can get better at my anti-airs and get consistent with my anti-airs, for me, that's probably going to be the main thing that I'm trying to work on this week. Is just, if they're in the air, I want to knock them out of it as many times as I possibly can. And that means getting better at knowing when to respond, and like being ready to respond, and also getting better at not messing up my inputs, which is something that I do struggle with still fairly regularly. I've gotten much better at it, but also I've thrown out plenty of spiral arrows when I meant to, like plenty of wrong attacks when I meant to do other ones. Sometimes I've even done supers on accident, and that's really bad. And so learning to consistently get out anti-airs and punish people who are jumping at me will be a major, major deal in being able to just get better against pretty much everybody that I'm playing against. Because I think even good players right now would be able to recognize, if I were good at every other aspect of the game, they'd be able to see like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to punish if I jump, and they would just be able to abuse that all day. So I'm trying to get better at that. Okay, the last question is, how are you balancing the rest of your life with your training? I work 40 hours a week. I am working a full-time job. I currently have a 5-month-old daughter, and I'm trying to balance things, but it is proving really, really difficult. Especially, not only am I trying to train for Street Fighter, but I'm trying to film and edit these videos together, and stream, and it is really hard to have the time to do all of that. So how am I balancing it? I think to some degree right now I'm not, and I'm trying to achieve that. Definitely my wife is absolutely instrumental in even coming close to achieving any kind of balance, where she has been willing to help with our daughter. I'll try to help a whole ton whenever I'm not doing things. I'm trying to be there and be the best dad I can be and take care of everything, but then my wife is willing to help and take care of our daughter while I'm training, while I'm streaming, while I'm editing videos. So that's been helpful. But at the end of the day, I've been staying up late and getting up early, and it's tough, and I'm just doing my best to enjoy what I'm doing, even though that's not always easy. So I don't know. There may be some adjustments that I need to make to my schedule here. We'll see how things go. For now, I'm gonna keep on trying to stream twice a week and put out videos once a week. But we'll see how that goes as we move forward into the future. That's it for this week's update. I am going to be trying to put this video out on Monday. There's a very real possibility that because this was a very busy weekend, it will end up out on Tuesday, the same day as I am planning on streaming. Regardless, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Oh, if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And don't be afraid to go catch up on some of the other videos that I have posted. All the streams should be live in the live tab on YouTube. And then all the past updates are up on the channel to catch up on. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.